Okay, I'm here today. Ian Walsh, Hard Money Bankers. We're doing Masters of the Market. I have a fantastic person to interview. His name is Jim Zaspel in the local Philadelphia area, Bucks County. Jim is a connoisseur at flipping, and he does quite a lot of volume relative to most of the people in the market. So he's a great interview to have today in regards to finding out what are flippers doing. You know, how are these guys extracting money? What do they see in the market? Where are we going? You need guys like Jim to give you that perspective because you just can't get it from people that do one or two a year. You need people that have their finger on the pulse. So with that said, I introduce you. How you doing, Jim?
Awesome, Ian. Glad to be here. Appreciate your having me, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. I obviously I know you, and I know what you're capable of, and I know you run a very tight operation. So I thought it would be good for the listeners, for myself. It's very important from a hard money perspective and what I do to have a pulse on guys like you and what you guys are seeing, because your feedback is relative to the amount of money and stuff we put on the street. So it's very important to us, and hopefully the listeners today can pick some stuff up from it. So can you give just an overview, Jim, of what you do very clearly so everybody understands?
Sure. So, do you want me to give you any background or just a snippet of what we're doing right like this
Both
year?
would be perfect, yeah.
Sure. So, before I've been in real estate going on 8 years. 30, so I started when I was 22, and before that I was a college dropout, landscaper, no special background, didn't come from money, nothing special at all, and heard one of the late night TV gurus and was naive enough to believe it could work, and it does. So anyway, I started out wholesaling, doing lots of lease options and wholesales for several years. And then in 2014, I really honestly needed the money. I needed to start making some serious cash. And I asked myself, well, what's the biggest chunks of cash to make in real estate, in residential real estate? And that is rehabbing. And so I got serious about it, and actually I happened to start doing it with my girlfriend at the time. She's now my wife and mother of my first child, so it's
Nice.
exciting.
Congratulations.
And so in 2014, we did 9 rehabs. Last year, 2015, we did 38. We sold about 30, but did 38 rehabs. This year, we'll sell 47, maybe 50 rehabs.
Wow.
And next year, if all I do, Ian, so I don't know when you air this, but if all I do is from now until the end of July of next year, 2017,
Okay.
if all I do is buy just 1.2 houses a week, that combined with the pipeline we already have going into the new year, we'll sell 75 houses. So we're
Jeez.
on track to 75 to 100 next year.
So,
Yeah.
anybody listening, that's volume, and it's important to understand what guys like Jim. He's an expert in what he does. You can't be that good at this and do that kind of volume without having a real system in place, knowing what the market around you is doing. So, that kind of brings me into the next question. So, Jim, I know you've been in this game just about as long as I have. We've both seen from 2008 until now, the market's been on an upswing, right? I mean, there's no question about it. And we're in approaching an upward side of a cycle. We just had a very interesting bit of news over the last 24 hours. So it's kind of,
Absolutely, man.
yeah. So
Am I
it's
allowed to
good.
get political or no?
Uh,
He's like,
I
no.
don't know. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Any of Jim's views are not my views, and we'll leave it at that. But so Jim had a big win over the last 24 hours. We'll put it that way. And
Absolutely.
but needless to say, with a new president, there's always going to be new stuff that's going to come up, right, in the economy and so forth. So we had this run from 2008 till now, and it's still here. But what do you see? Like, so explain what you've seen from 2008 until now in the market, and what your take on that is right now.
Sure. So I'm no economic forecaster expert, but what I have learned is that the president actually has very little to do with Republican or Democrat, very little to do with the market in terms of big ups and downs. It's going to do what it's going to do. There's 20-year cycles, there's 80-year cycles, and I think we're headed for a big market correction within the next several years, and a pretty significant one within the next 12 to 24 months from right now. That's my opinion. Just based on listening to people smarter than me. Ask me why. I give you some BS answers that'll actually sound smart. That's my opinion. I think it's been great. Mark's gone strong. I mean, every single one of our buyers, almost with no exception, and these are owner-occupant buyers, they're either paying cash. I mean, we listed a house in Ambler for 600 grand. We bought it. We bought it based off selling it for 550. We listed it for 600, and we got a cash offer in 3 days for 630.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, those are insane numbers.
That's
Yeah.
special. That's special right there. For anybody that's flipped the house, that's a special thing. Yeah.
That was a good day. So it was funny. I got a text. It was a Sunday. We got the offer, and my realtor sent me a text like, "The Lord has blessed you today." I think he was trying to
Gosh.
it was Sunday. Yeah. So anyway, it's either cash or conventional buyers. In the past 100 rehabs we've done, I think we've sold a grand total of 5 to either VA or FHA buyers. So for me, when the market's strong, you're selling conventional and cash.
Gotcha. So that's an interesting perspective. Now, so with that said, and understanding what you've been seeing over the past few years, so what are you doing in your business to prepare for, say, okay, so you said in the next 12 to 24 months you have a correction, maybe a big one, the real estate cycles and so forth. Like, how are you hedging your bets or figuring out what you want to do or making adjustments to account for it?
Sure. So a couple of different things, and I learned this mindset from actually a gentleman down in Maryland. At any given time, he has about actually Fred Lewis. Do you know Fred Lewis?
Jason Balin, my partner, probably knows him, I would imagine.
Okay. Anyway, he does a lot of rehabs and a lot of rentals. Runs a great business. At any given time, he has about 95 houses under construction at a time. Yeah, like rehabbing, right? Either rental turnovers, rental acquisitions, or fix and flips. Anyway, he said the only way to survive a market correction is by operational excellence. Operational excellence. So that's something that really, I heard him speak at a mastermind a few months ago. So ever since that point, we've been just really trying to dial in how we manage a rehab process. It's getting your SKUs in line, getting better in the rehab estimating, analyzing every deal after it sells. So you're not, any idiot can make money right now in this business, right? Any idiot.
The market makes you money right now, yeah.
Yeah, right. You buy it, plan on selling 550. You sell it for 630. It's a great day. Doesn't make me smart. It makes me lucky, right? And so it's two things. One is operational excellence, and two is we make sure the deals we buy are based off of real comps. So I assume at any given day the market could take at least a little bit of a tumble tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay. And so I'm pretty confident that it would have to take a significant dip in order for me to actually lose money in any house I own right now. Okay. And I think between the ones we are either about to buy in the next week or about to sell in the next 30 days or anywhere between, we have 36 houses in our pipeline right now.
Okay.
So on any of those, I would suck if I didn't make any money on any of them because that's, well over $1 million of profit in that pipeline. But, I buy conservative enough. I buy where there's actually real comps to support my ARV, not what I hope it'll be at in 6 months.
So you reduce that speculation in the next 6 months. You use what the market's giving you right now. And I mean, better than as well as anybody that knows what they're doing in this business. You buy deep. You buy deep now, you'll buy deep in the future, but you're probably very attuned to that at the moment.
Yeah, so I don't buy the same way I sell. I reevaluate every deal. Probably getting off track here, but I reevaluate every deal right before I list it. And I'd say about 25% of the houses we sell at least 5% higher than we planned on when we bought it.
So you find that you pleasantly surprise. So okay, that's interesting. I'll also go off tangent. So from what I typically do, I find people try to surprise themselves on the other side. So they're like, they're saying, hey, they're banking on getting that 630 cash offer, right? And then the 575 comes in, you're off by 10%. Your margin's gone. What you're saying you do, which is what I find the very in tune flippers do, you're going to get surprised on the good side. You're going to make the extra 5%, and you're okay with making where you were going to be anyway. That's a pretty big mental shift that a lot of flippers, I notice, that's a pretty big cutting line between being overly optimistic and lying to yourself versus being a realist and then being pleasantly surprised and okay with the outcome.
That's a disease that causes the newer guys to have that. You want to know what the disease is called, Ian?
I'm all ears.
It's called "Gotta Do a Deal-itis."
They
make it do it isn't it?
Yeah. That's funny. I'm going to use that one again. So, but yeah, Jim, I really appreciate you coming on. I really do appreciate your time. And I wanted to know, did you have any tips for anybody out there that's either getting into it, that's into it? I mean, anybody that's even extremely experienced can use your insight. I'm here honestly to hear, what your opinion is as well. So anything that you say right now that you think you could leave people with?
Sure. So I'm going to give you a couple of a barrage of quick tidbits. Okay. First of all, and that is buying houses where there's the most buyers. Okay. So when I pull comps in the house, I pull active pending and sold transactions. In my MLS, it's orange and red are the pending and sold. I'm looking for as much orange and red as possible. And so if you're starting to see more than 30 or 40% in green, you got to get a little concerned buying a different neighborhood. Okay. Second, you got to surround yourself with folks who know how to do what you're looking to accomplish. Ian, it's rare that I hear you talk and don't learn something from you. So if you're looking for money, it's rare to have a money lender who isn't just going to say yes, no to deals, but actually going to try to help you become better as a business owner. That's one thing I really like about you, Ian.
Appreciate that.
And then the third thing is you've got to learn what your buyers want, what makes them buy. Okay, so we have a little survey that we have buyers fill out. We also, when we're breaking into any kind of new micro market, we also look at what houses sold. Take the ones that sold in more than 20 days in the market, ones that sold less than 20 days. What are the ones that sold fast have in common? And we mirror those things. And you got to learn that what buyers like and don't. Landscaping in the backyard doesn't matter at all, right? For example, so just learn where to prioritize your money on the project. And then also, Ian, I'm sure you've seen this happen where stuff just comes up on a project,
Sure,
and you don't expect it. And unfortunately, and this is a hard thing to swallow as the rehabber, meaning me, is it's because we missed on the front end. Hell, I bought a house last week. I shouldn't say this. We missed a $10,000 structural issue at the foundation, and the guy that looked at the house for me missed the rewire. Right? We got the damn checklist in place, but that's a rare example. We missed that stuff. So it's very rare that we miss stuff, and the reason is I have a very specific and detailed checklist. I don't ever see a house until after we've bought it, or at least until we're a few days before closing when my contractor goes through there. Okay. So, Ian, if it's okay with you, I'd like to just go ahead and give that checklist that my team uses to take videos of a house so we can make an offer, give it for free to your listeners. Would you like that?
Yeah, I'm sure my listeners could greatly benefit from that. Yeah,
so
fantastic.
Here it is. Anybody can just go to this website, put in your email, your name, and then get the checklist for free immediately. It's JimsRehabChecklist.com. JIMS rehabchecklist.com. You'll get the same checklist that my team uses on a regular basis to look at houses, and it's really going to help save you money, keep you from making those $10,000 mistakes.
That's a really good tool. That's a really good, and those tips. There's actually a lot of good information in there. If you dig a little deeper, I kind of you can read between the lines. There were some really good tips there for everybody, and absolutely, you said it was Jim's Rehab. Say it one more time.
Jim's RehabChecklist.com.
Perfect. Go there, and that's nice. I didn't even know Jim was giving that away today, and actually, I can tell you how many loans we look at. People will greatly benefit from just having something that simple and that convenient in front of them. So, Jim, again, I'd like to thank you today. That's where you guys can contact Jim. He's a great resource in the local, Bucks County, Philadelphia area. Obviously, I'm Ian Walsh with Hard Money Bankers. You can find us on Facebook, Hard Money Bankers PA, or Hard Money Bankers, or email us. But appreciate the time, and hopefully everybody learned something today.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.